Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me again. So I know I haven't been updating my channel as much and I haven't been telling you about the bike as much, but I'm gonna try more often. And I know I keep saying that, but I'm actually gonna try to record what I've been doing more often. I just get in the zone and I just never get the chance to really play with the camera. You know what I mean. Anyways, so I'm gonna give you guys an update about the bike. The bike is right here. It's a million pieces. I did run a 761 at 193 miles per hour, and the thing was a freaking rocket. You guys wouldn't believe what was the reason, what was killing all the power this whole time. It was the clutch. I was talking to my buddy Rob, and Rob is like, dude, it's the clutch, it's slipping, just add more washer. And that was the last race of the season. Anyways, I was like, oh, I really don't want to be playing with my setup right now. This is that. He's like, just put one washer in the lockup to add more weight. This way we'll give it more kind of lockup force, like lockup pressure. The more weight you add, the more pressure it's going to add on the clutch to lock the power down. Anyways, I added one more washer and I went first pass, and holy motherfucker, that thing was crazy. It was pulling a wheelie in every single gear. It was insane. Anyways, I was like, all right, this is obviously too much. It was a race. I was actually qualifying on that pass. So what I did, I went back, I pulled some boost out of it. Clearly the clutch worked. Took the clutch apart, it was mint. I was like, perfect, well, clearly it's working. So what I did, I pulled some boost out of it and I was doing a bracket race. Anyways, my average at that point was 790. 791, 792, 793, 790 all day. So what I did is I set my bracket time to 8:0. So this way, if the guy after me, let's say, was running 8.3 average or 8.5 average, he would go basically 0.5 of a second faster or whatever before me. My first competitor was Don, and he runs 9.0 all day, 9.02, 9.03, 9.02, 9.03, all day, very consistent, very good racer. And I set mine to 8.0. So I figured, in theory, even though my previous pass, my bike actually gained, even though it wheelied across the finish line at 191, it automatically gained about 6 miles per hour. So I was like, all right, the bike is working. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna stick with the plan. And if he's way ahead, like, I know for a fact if I hit the brakes and I go just faster than him, I should probably win. Anyways, he went a second before me, and that thing just took right off. Got off, like caught up with him so fast. I'm looking at him, and I was like, oh shit, I can tell he's like just punching, right? I looked at him, hit the brakes, and this thing just slowed down, and all of a sudden I punched it and that fucking thing just took right off. Anyways, I obviously won. And what was my time? 780. No, was it? 782. 782. Let me check. Actually, I'm gonna show you guys all the time slips from the season. All right, so these are all my passes. I'm pretty sure, which one was it? The mile per hour was pretty low. This one, he was 9.0 and I was 785 at 177, and I hit 150 in the 8th. So I know for a fact my bike, anyways, 64 wasn't very good. Yada yada yada. I wasn't sure what was going on. Yeah. So my dollar time was 8:30. His was 9:07, and he got 9:09. He's very consistent, very good racer. Anyhow, I go and I'll get back to it. I go and I passed him. My bike took off so quick. I ran actually 785, and that was at that point the fastest the bike ever ran, and I hit the brakes. I was like, come on. So obviously I lost. I broken way too much from 8.3 to 785. It was just, yeah, I lost. So I was out of the game. I go back to the front, the guys in the front, and I was like, guys, come on, just give me one more pass. It's my last pass of the season. Let me try. Guess what happened? You guys gotta see this. Where is it? 761 to 193 miles per hour. And look, my 64, everything is just so much better. 150. I know the bike got so much more than 150 in the 8th because I've ran before actually. I ran a 152 here, 152 here, and there's another one. Anyways, one of them I ran, I think 154, 155, and I pulled all the power out from the first half just because I wanted to go from A to B passes. With that setup, I didn't want to be pushing it. I was racing. I just wanted to be consistent. I wanted to go from A to B with no problems, wheelies, and all the crazy shenanigans. Anyhow, so that was done. Ran a 760. My goal was 750 this season. But I ran a 761. I was very happy as the last pass of this season. So I was just mind blown. Anyhow, the day was done. We're done racing. Obviously, right away, I got working on my bike. So I'm upgrading my turbo kit a little bit, okay? So I had a boost spike issue, so what I did is I ported the flange from the inside and then extended it, relocated the turbo, and that's the new dump setup. It looks pretty badass. I'm really happy with it. The second thing I decided to do is my swing arm. This swing arm just weighs a ton. Like, I built it 3 years ago. It was just, hey, what's up, Baxter? Say hi. I built it 3 years ago. It was awesome. It worked great, no problems. But I made it a little bit too heavy duty. That is just way too heavy. So this one is actually 2x4, and it was 3/16 thick. No, 3/16 thick, no, 3/16 or very thick, very heavy, very overbuilt. Anyhow, I was like, screw this. I'm gonna make this bike this year lose about 30 pounds at least. So I started building the swing arm. It's actually at the machine shop. I will post a couple pictures that I took while I was building it. I will make a video on building it, welding it, all of it. I didn't do the first part, I'm sorry. But today, I'm actually planning to build a lighter subframe. So this is the OEM subframe. It's aluminum, it's light, probably weighs 20 pounds or, I don't know, 25. I need to go get a scale, actually. I'm gonna do that today. And I wanna weigh everything, old product, new product. My bike weighted 465 pounds, and it made 641 on the dyno, after racing all year long. So after all that, still made 641 horsepower at 34 pounds of boost. And I let off actually I revved it to 12,200, and at 12,200 exactly, it made 641 horsepower. I have a video of it, but I will add that in this video as well, so you guys can see. I was surprised. I thought my bike is maybe pushing 550, maybe 600, but 641, and it kept climbing. I shifted my bike at 12,700. I did not rev my bike to 12,700 on the dyno, only 12,200, and it made 641 horsepower exactly at 12,200 when I let off. So I know for a fact it kept climbing, and I also ran about 40 pounds of boost at the racetrack. I only ran 34 on the dyno. So that tells, I'm actually surprised. Like, I'm beyond surprised on how well the Honda motor is holding together. Stock cases, I do have like Carello rods, J pistons, cams, valves, blah, 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 blah. Upgraded transmission, billet clutch, but stock crank, stock block, I did not do like pretty much nothing. The only thing I did to the block is pour the oil gallery and put ARP studs on the crank and on the head. The crank ones are actually upgraded from M9 to M10, so a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier. Stock crank, just 9.5 to 1 compression pistons. I'm thinking to go 10 to 1. I haven't decided yet, but I mean, it's working, right? 9.5 to 1 made 640 horsepower, 30 pounds of boost out of a 1.1 liter engine. That's retarded. That's ridiculous. Anyhow, another thing that I'm upgrading is this little bad boy. So this actually is, oops, it's bolted somewhere right here. Anyways, this is a mechanical fuel pump that's going to be driven where my original water pump goes. Oops. So this is my water pump. It goes right there. So what I did is I actually machined this fuel pump. I machined this fuel pump to fit where the original water pump goes. So now this fuel pump is going to be driven by the motor. At this point, I was having some fuel pressure issues, but at this point, I'm not going to have any fuel pressure issues. This thing is more than enough. I have 2200cc injectors, and if I crank them up to 50, they should be about 2400. I could run full M1 on this bike, no problem. Full methanol, no alcohol, no E85 anymore, or I could actually have two tunes. When I race street, I will need the E85 tune because it has to be on pump E85, and it will still run the 761 or even faster if I get my 60-foot sorted. And if I really want to race with the pros, and I was like, screw it, let's go. I want my sixes. That's my goal next year. Go sixes. Hopefully I'll get there. We'll see how that goes. But with the M1, automatically I'm going to gain probably at least 10 more horsepower, 10 more percent. So 10% out of 641, just easy math right away, that's extra 60 horsepower. 660? Yeah, 6%, 10%, yeah. Extra 60 horsepower just from swapping fuels. Not that I need more horsepower. Clearly this thing is overpowering the whole bike and the whole track. But the key this year, make sure I have enough fuel. I'm gonna make it as clean as I can. The whole wiring is gone. I sold my old wiring for the Max ECU. It's all gonna be redone. It's gonna be just perfect. I wanna take my shield, I wanna take my shell off, and I wanna be able to access everything I want. I want it to be super like easy to maintain. Take the plugs, easy to reach. This subframe is actually gonna be much lighter and much neater and cleaner. I'm gonna move as much stuff as possible more forward. I will add a second rotor because 193 miles per hour trying to stop that thing, tell you what, those brakes were working really hard. And I think I need a second one, and I will add a little bit more weight up front. So what else am I gonna get? Or I got? I will have the laser wheel, front wheel height sensor. Okay, so this will tell the bike exactly how high the front wheel is off the ground. And I could make a table in the Max ECU to tell, okay, if I'm, let's say, 10 inches high, pull 2 degrees. If I'm 20, pull 10. If I'm 30, I don't want to be up to 30, cut ignition off. And this way I can just punch that little fucker and just say, hold on, let's go. I don't have to worry as much about wheelies. I want to get to the point where I'm only using that feature for data. I don't want to rely on it to go fast, because you never want to rely on the computer to make you go fast. You just want to work around it, pull power, add more power, know the limits of your bike. This way, these extra things are just going to be like a backup. Like, you never want to tune a car and just rely on closed loop, wideband control. You know what I mean? You want to tune it perfectly and have that closed loop kick in whenever the weather is a little bit different. Something like that. Anyhow, so I'll have that sensor. I will have a shock sensor in the back. I'm going to have crankcase pressure sensor, coolant pressure sensor, fuel pressure, oil pressure, obviously the CO2. I'm gonna have all the sensors. I want all the data. I wanna know every single thing this bike is doing. The reason why I'm going crankcase pressure sensor, you can actually know if you're running too much timing or not just by the spark plug. If you're running too much timing, clearly the rings are flexing too much and the motor is not running smoothly inside. Therefore, that could tell me, okay, I'm running too much timing, I should probably run a little bit less. And still look at my plugs to tell me how my motor is liking the timing. So all this data should make this bike as good as it can get, basically. What else? Engine is obviously coming out after I'm done all the fabrication. I don't want to deal with rebuilding the motor right now. I'm just gonna put brand new pistons. The motor is perfectly fine, no problems. I'm just gonna put brand new pistons, redo the head, new valve springs, and that's it. Basically, it's working. The turbo kit is hopefully gonna work better for boost control. I'm gonna start making all the light parts. If I can get this bike to 420 pounds, full wet, man, that 40 pounds is gonna make a huge difference. That's like at least 0.1 of a second right there. And I know this thing's capable of doing 6s, so stick with me for the journey, and let's see how everything goes. I will update as much as possible. I'm sorry for not doing that lately. I just been so focused and slammed with work, like this, that, engine building, like the end of the day, when I come to actually work on my bike, I just want to get the work done and kind of go to sleep. But I will try to put the more effort and show you guys what I've been doing. It's gonna be freaking awesome. It's gonna be cool. This thing is gonna go 6s at some point. I will make that happen, and I just have a really good feeling next year is gonna be a really good year, especially with all this updates and changes and data, and like all these little things are gonna help me so much. And 650 horsepower, that thing will take me really fast for sure. Guys, I don't want to make this too long. I'm gonna get to work, and I'll keep you guys updated. Let me know what you guys think. Please comment and subscribe, share if you can, and thank you very much.